Welcome to Marvelicious Toys. We bring you news and reviews of Marvel toys, statues, and more. Because not all Marvel collections can be bagged and boarded. They're not just toys, they're Marvelicious.
But figure number one is Marvel Now Iron Man, which ironically is Marvel Then, because after Secret Wars they rebooted again.
He's pretty with his gold and black. Although the back of the armor, he really needs to jazz it up a little.
Yeah, the back is pure black. It reminds me almost of a Titan figure at the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he gets stealth. He just turns and faces the wall.
He's got some nice articulation because his little shoulder pads come up so you can move his arms, which is nice, right?
This is a familiar figure. This is a repaint of an Iron Man we already have. This is the Mark III, and we got this in the Iron Man 2 Legends line. Before Legends were officially back and it was just kind of Iron Man in the 6-inch line, this was originally gold and red.
Yeah, I thought the sculpt looked familiar. I just kind of counted on you to tell me from whence it came.
Yep, because it still has the old ball joint hips. But I mean, it's still, you know what? It's not so old that it doesn't match with the current style of Marvel Legends. It doesn't stick out as an old figure to me.
Yeah, the way that Rescue kind of did, this does not.
Because, I mean, it still has all the good articulation. You've got the double-hinged elbows and knees. I'm not quite sure on the ankles, if it's got rockers or just ball joints, because his armor is kind of prohibitive as far as movement goes there.
Yeah, he's got really good range of motion. The joints are actually how I like them. They're not too loose nor too tight. You can kind of move them around without feeling you're going to break anything.
I like the little red dot accents that they put all over the place on his arc reactors in his hands and on his shoulders.
I really like the arc reactor, how it has a glow. They usually just paint those one color, but here it's got like the yellow center faded to the orange, kind of gradient.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch.
They used a nice gold on it, too. It's kind of shiny, not quite gold foil, but it's kind of nice.
I guess I will ding this figure just a little bit for feeling underpainted. I know he's kind of supposed to be stealth and black, but I think a little bit of like a gunmetal gray to set off some of these doohickeys a little bit would have gone a long way. It just feels a little plasticky up near his shoulders where all the attachments go.
By the same token, what you're dinging, though, is more the design from the comic than you are the toy itself.
Right.
The place to ding the toy is the fact that these red dots feel like stickers on there, whereas they should be like extra arc reactors, like on the Extremis armor, how it had all those joints.
Right, and actually molded on there. You're right, these do feel a little decal-ish.
But as far as how the outfit looks, I mean, that's straight out of the design here. And if you look at it that way, I think they did a really great job. The gold, like Marjorie said, is good. I like how they did the little gold in the rib cage there. But yeah, they're stifled by the design that came out of Marvel Now instead of just, making up their own armors, which they've done in the past.
Very true. And the gold works well against his black. A lot of times gold gets eaten by a black plastic, and this is nice and crisp and a nice contrast against the black color. I'm not a huge fan of how they put the serial number on the inside of his upper thigh. That's usually on the back of a figure where you don't see it.
It's all over the place. You never can tell where they're going to put that, but it's, very noticeable here.
And he comes with one of Hulkbuster's legs, which is a very... The leg itself is more plastic than the figure that it comes with.
Now, figure 2 also has the A on it. We are talking Marvel's War Machine versus anybody else's War Machine.
Well, maybe someone else does have a war machine.
Or just the, War Machine in general.
Now, to me, I think this is a movie-based figure with the square arc reactor and everything. This really feels like...
I think that's Don Cheadle.
Yeah, the face sculpt, everything. This feels to me very much like a War Machine Mark II from Age of Ultron.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that Mark II outfit enough to know if this is completely accurate or not, but what it is a repaint of the Iron Patriot figure that we already have.
Which is kind of how it all worked out anyway, right?
Yeah, so I'm not saying, as far as the design of the armor goes, perfectly fine with that. As far as, are all the gray bits in the right spot? I don't know. I'm not familiar enough with that armor from the movie to say one way or another. But it did get some cool details in here. I mean, they have the little Captain Rhodes printed on his chest there and the FF on his arm. Got some neat little details that I can't remember if the Hasbro version of Patriot had those or not.
We were surprised by how much they did include, even if they didn't have everything.
Right. But the big difference here between those two figure releases is, like Marjorie said, the Don Cheadle open mask head.
That is clearly Don Cheadle.
Now, this figure is 2 per case, so I have 2 of him, and neither one has great eyeballs on my Rhodey head.
Oh, that's a bummer. Is he kind of wonky-eyed?
He's just a little bit cross-eyed in both of them. Like, the pupils are not in the same spots on both eyes. Because I was trying to decide, which one do I open? Which one do I open? Oh, they both look exactly the same.
Mine kind of looks like he's suffering from a 1,000-yard stare. He's just kind of gazing out there into the distance.
Yeah. It's hard to tell if this is Don Cheadle. I mean, you see very little of his face in this, right? It's, you know, almost like the Murphy face of RoboCop. That's all you see. I mean, we know there was a War Machine that was David Vonner's head. This could be David Vonner. This could be Don Cheadle. This could be a comic likeness. It's really hard to tell.
I feel like it looks enough like Don Cheadle that I'm happy calling it the movie version.
Or is it we just want it to be Don Cheadle?
Well, there's always that. What I'm kind of digging is it's not just a black plastic. We've got kind of this gunmetal gray with that little metallic sheen to it is what this is cast in.
Yeah, I really do like the shininess of it. I like the grays they used. I like the white against it. This figure, honestly, if you're a Marvel movie fan and you just want something to stand on your shelf, I think this is the figure from the wave, actually. It just looks that good.
Definitely.
I have a little trouble posing his gun in certain ways, like over his shoulder. It's kind of a weird, wonky, articulated gun.
Yeah, the way he's packaged, it's on the backside of his right shoulder. I moved it over to the peg hole in his left shoulder, and it seems to work out a little bit better over there.
Yeah, it feels like it's notched to go left.
Yeah, it hangs to the left naturally.
Just like Clinton.
Oh, man. I can't believe these are still going on.
But, I mean, more than anything, this figure in this outfit is going to be relevant coming up soon, too, because this is, from what we can tell, the outfit he's wearing in Civil War.
Oh, I'm sure there's slight differences that'll make a new hot toy. And he comes with the smallest Hulkbuster Build-A-Piece, the head. And perhaps that's why he's 2 per case, is because they didn't want to spend all the plastic of sending an extra leg or something. They could just mold an extra head and toss it in.
Yep, because that is by far the smallest piece of the entire Build-A-Figure wave. You almost miss it in there compared to the other ones.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Marvelicious Toys with more collecting news and reviews at marvelicioustoys.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, make mine Marvelicious.